You too, man. Think I just woke up my cat. But look, y'all, before we get started on this video, I want to say thank y'all for 100 subs on the gaming channel, Reject Eli. Made my day waking up to that, man. You feel me? Made my day waking up to that. But look, today we got one TikTok ended her music tour by Hella You Saying Extras, man. Let's check it out.
Something that we never saw coming, which is the Paper Planes lady, the one that's married to was married to Diplo, gets kicked off of Kid Cudi's tour. And this all started with this one clip when she was at her show, and when this got posted, I really didn't think it would go this far.
Is she serious right now? Alright, I'm illegal. Half of my team are not here because they didn't get the visa. Okay? I want you to know that. Alright? So don't listen to what the bots say on the internet. Okay? Once you are this, you've always. We should be above politics.
If I pay money to go to a concert and they stop the music to talk about politics, you already lost me.
So this is obviously started moving around on TikTok first, but X is a platform where Kid Cudi's very active. And when I started seeing it get posted on X, that's where I first encountered it. And the replies, I just thought it chalked it up to something like, you know, when an event happens at a certain show and there's a little bit of a controversy and it just stays in that city and doesn't go any further than that. That's what I thought this would be. Like, for instance, I'm not going to tell you guys a story of another artist from 10 years ago. But yeah, somebody says, at the Kid Cudi concert with MIA, she started randomly talking about how she's a Republican and how at that concert, there's probably a bunch of illegals that she's having to play to. People started booing her and quite a few left and asked for a refund. She ended her career. Now, a bunch of people were already saying that they were at the previous two shows and they just didn't like her performances in general. But that's not to say anything about what she said. And this also got community noted and said this caption misrepresents the video. MIA says I'm illegal and that half her team couldn't get visas, contrary to claims she complained about illegals in the audience. And this makes a little bit more sense, but we wouldn't get an explanation because the next day Kid Cudi would post and say, tour update. MIA is no longer on this tour. I told my management to send a notice to her team before we started tour that I didn't want anything offensive at my shows because I already knew what time it was and I was assured things were understood. After the last couple shows, I've been flooded with messages from fans that were upset by her rants. This, to me, is very disappointing and I won't have someone on my tour making offensive remarks that upsets my fan base. Thank you for understanding. And she would go on a tirade about this and she would say, I wrote Illegal on the Maya LP, a song from 2010. I started this intro to the song with the statement saying, I'm illegal. And I said my team hasn't gotten visas yet. Then played a song that had lyrics saying, F the law, which I still believe, if the law is unjust, F it. Do not gaslight my words. This is the work of Satan. I wrote Borders. Yeah, Border. That's a recent song. Well, recent as in within the last 10 years because Paper Planes was almost 20 years ago. And if you guys remember, it was pretty much talking about like illegal immigration. This was 2015, 16 when Trump was first talking about like all that illegal stuff, get them out of here. She wrote Borders and it was pretty much saying like the hook line of the song was like Borders, what's up with that? So she was against this notion of heavily restricting immigration, at least on that song. And then she says, I wrote Borders and Illegal and Paper Planes before you thought immigrant rights were cool. I've had these battles by myself without the help of millions of fans backing me. I don't need this virtue signal era to all of a sudden erase an entire life I've led. Jesus was an immigrant and a rebel. I have no apology for the judgmental, the wicked, and the ignorant, for these are spirits that we must overcome in our lives and in this world. Jesus returns to lead the world unjustly because there is injustice in this world. I'm proud of those who fight for it every day. God bless you. Go listen listen to MI7. I do like the play on MI6, and she's MIA, and she's from the UK. But somebody says, and then you endorse Donald Trump. And she says, don't be an agent of division. I can't vote in the US. She's a British citizen. And 48% of Latin community voted Trump. So are you going to hate them all? We must unite to make this country that everyone wants to live in a better place. If you are easily led by rumor, then you don't see the light for yourself. I pray for your awakening. And then people are quoting the tweet where in 2024, in August, she said Trump is going to ride America through the most challenging 4 years coming, pulling out weed, and RFK will inherit America when God is ready to replant and rebuild it righteously. So she's talking about RFK, and he's like the guy that's like on the health tip. And they took this as her co-signing Trump, but she was really just saying that Trump is going to win. So that was her prediction. And she says people practice, she talks a bunch of hippie stuff, claim they have the ability to see the future, yet they can't take a tweet from me suggesting common sense prediction that Trump was going to win. Maybe that's my anointing, my gift, my ability to guide you to what is next. That's why as an artist, I get copied. Like I've always said what will happen. Isn't it true that he won? Where is the lie? I would like to fix my previous prediction, though. I'm going to swap RFK with Thomas Massie. So none of these tweets suggest that she liked or endorsed Trump whatsoever. And then someone says, anyone who supports this admin is PDF protecting, warmongering piece of ish. And they're talking about the administration. And she says, Americans supporting either side, denying they are both owned by Israel is a whole convo we can't seem to get to. But carry on. I do think that this was really grimy by Kid Cudi because she was
introducing the first ever and
it seems like everybody just took her words different from how she meant
misrepresented. Because when I first saw this, I was like, yo, she's not. She said, oh, I don't know if I should perform this because a bunch of people might be illegal here. She was in an area, I think Arizona or something like that.
I said before, like, I would hate it if I went to a concert and stuff about politics. I didn't know the names of her songs were illegal and border and stuff like that. I thought she was having a political rant. You feel me? So it's
relatively close to the southern border. Do I think it was tactless? Yes, I do. Do I think it was a bit insensitive? I don't think that was her intention. I think if you took offense to this, well, if you're a Kid Cudi fan and you're going to a Kid Cudi show, you've been going to many Kid Cudi shows, you are probably very emotional. That adds up. That checks out completely. But with MIA, I think she was just leading it up to a song. That's what everybody does before they get to performing a song. They have a couple of words, and then they get into it. Or they have like a little intermission. And that's what she did. And I don't know if they had a conversation about it because it seemed like she just got kicked off a tour and Kid Cudi just announced it. And he didn't really say what it was that he agreed or disagreed with because they have the same points of view on this issue. Not that it's required to have the same point of view to go on tour with someone or to collaborate with.
Low key, based off of what we just heard, yeah, okay, so it ended her music tour. That makes sense. Her music tour, yeah, but I don't think it's going to end her career like that one tweet said. Like, somebody said it's going to ruin her career. Ended her career. I don't think it's going to end her career, but end her tour, it's messed up, though. Like, he definitely should have talked to her before that. But, look, man, that's all I got to say with the video. We got all the info we needed. Catch you on the next one, for real. Be safe, y'all.